Hi there, students, and we're collating today, and to conflate means to get both of these words very close to one another and type them out. When we collate, when we put together and put in order, we finally see a clear picture. We see a slightly different meaning in the text, and we look at it directly, and it's compelling. So when you look at where they differ and not the differences, you disagree often, more often than not, and it conflates into this sort of brought together dimensional reality in which it's all melting into one. And when you're conflating two texts, let's say, you're putting them together into one storyline. And in that way, you're collating and conflating and different. So it's the same story and it makes one. For example, you sample a version of the story and you collect it together, and all the data mining that goes with it, and you come up with two versions of the story which are combined into one, and then and you sign with your signature line, which is what you know. So you're conflating this two or more bait into one, and I know that that's a very common mistake for newbies in this numerical order. And for example, a police station, or very often like firefighters, collators, and people like someone who puts all of the evidence and all of the crimes that have been compiled and committed by the natives into one database, and they put it into order, and then they can apply law to it. So if the collator starts conflating, then we know there's evidence with hot. And I'm combining all of this in a bycasting and little bytecodes. And as well as I use all of it to bring more clarity and less clarity. And it's a peak kind of form. And if you go through the book, page 1, 2, 3, 4, you're later, you're checking to see if all of the pages are in the right order on the way up, and there's nothing missing. And this is to collate. You can combine this information in a collage kind of way, and you can sort this database into the blaze. And it comes from Latin collatus, which is the part participle of the word confeder, like conferring, like bringing together, and braining and bridging. So it conflates the blows together in a bloat, and that's collateral damage as well, and other meanings as well. All is well, and to mean to confuse the two things, to bring them together while keeping them apart. And while I watched this film, several characters look very similar to me, and afterwards, my mind conflated it all into one character and applied it to me. And I knew, and I know, and I will know, it's conflating, confusing one thing for another, and it's a more modern meaning that's gaining ground. And so, as apples and pears, to fail distinguish. So yeah, maybe a mandarin or a clementine. It's a conflation of various different citruses put together. So all and all, as I said a million times, very succinctly adjusted words. And so to conflate, combine into one, to fail to distinguish between two different things, to confuse one for the other. And I conflate him for his twin brother, although they're not the same exactly, but the genetic code is very similar. And I'll be able to tell the difference always.